coming up.
David is a special child. He was abandoned when he was 4 years old, and when he came to Imani, we realized he was epileptic. There's a woman who walked in our office on Monday wanting to sell off this child to Imani at a price of 100,000 shillings.
Every child is born with a right to life, to protection, and to all that encompasses human dignity. Unfortunately, not every child enjoys this.
There one day, I would hum and whistle through, and you would try to get the tune, but you'd never...
The Day of the African Child draws attention to the predicament of her children in this light. Celebrated the world over every 16th of June, this day commemorates the courage of hundreds of schoolboys and girls who were shot down in a demonstration protesting the inferiority of the education offered to them by the colonial powers in Soweto, South Africa.
I've been holding you up so you know that the waves are tied to the shore. I've been holding you up.
The best gift the world can give a child is to just let them be children and grow at their own pace. In today's show, we journey with two couples who, in an interesting twist, depict a problem and a solution to the woes facing the African child. As in the case of the Day of the African Child.
I've been holding you up so you know that the waves are tied to the shore. I've been holding you up so you...
Meet Flavia and Eric, who emerged with more than academic certifications from their college. It was an uphill task for Eric, trying to woo his bride for months.
From March to... when was that? 2006, May.
Come the third year, and like any girl, Flavia was getting anxious.
I was just thinking in my head, time is going. So, as ladies with bio clocks, and you're thinking, this guy, we've been going out for like 5 years. We've finished school, we have our career set. So really, what's keeping us, Just thinking in my head. And finally it came.
It came when she least expected it. And in an interesting way too.
When you see a cockroach for real, we call it a wild animal. So you will look for it and kill it. If it runs under the table, so that they don't, cockroaches multiply very fast. And you can imagine when they are guests, then a cockroach just passes like this. So I kept looking for it. And the ring was the cockroach. The engagement ring, a beautiful gold ring.
They may share a calling in their careers, the same shirt color, and even surnames. But like most couples, Flavia and Eric had to overcome a few hurdles while planning their wedding. For instance, there is the issue of religion.
Her church is different. She goes to church on Saturday, I go to church on Sunday. So putting it on a Saturday, it's not going to be fair on her side. Making it on a Sunday, my family will not. We didn't want to interfere with anybody's business over the weekend.
And the date has to suit both families.
We really wanted it not to fall on a weekend, and we couldn't do a month before because his cousin is getting married on 23rd of April. So that would have meant it would have been just a week apart. And of course, it's the same people who are going to attend. So we had to push it.
Their wedding planning included more than several trips to prospective providers. Flavia knows only too well the power of knowledge after consoling her friend through a number of miscarriages.
I had a friend of mine who used to miscarry a lot, and it took her 4 miscarriages to know that she's miscarrying because her rhesus factor and the one for her or for her husband are not the same. So what happens is that If the rhesus factor is different, then they give you drugs so that you don't miscarry. But if you don't know about it, you'll keep miscarrying and you'll keep thinking there's something wrong with the woman, or so it's a very important thing to know way in advance and to know how to go about it way in advance.
Our second couple is slightly different from the usual charming prince and fairy princess tales.
David is a special child. He was abandoned when he was 4 years old, and when he came to Imani, we realized he was epileptic. So he appeared to press severally if we could trace their guardians, but nobody came for him. So he has been raised here. We enrolled him in school, but in school he was not able to catch up on very well because of the condition that he had. We took him to hospital, and he's been undergoing through medication on epileptic.
As the Imani home manager Rebecca Musisi explains, finding a suitor for David came with its own challenges.
You know, like any other boys that are exposed out, they can mingle with other people who are not those within his environment. So his uniqueness is that he's not able to express himself very well, especially maybe if there's a particular thing that he wants to outsiders, but very free with the people whom he's very well known to.
Being a man with special needs, David could do with a little help here and there.
I remember when the mother of the home brought Oma in front of the church and said, she wants us to pray for God to bless Oma with a wife. And since every member of the church knows Oma, it appeared like it's a difficult case, but Mama had great faith that God is going to give Oma a fiancé.
The staff at Imani home, where David grew up, had to take it to task.
It was a long journey to get a wife for David. So we had to go all the way to a place called Matiliku in Emali, where we got this lovely girl, Bithe. We left Nairobi with David and the uncles and some aunties. We went to the place. We found the family members. We introduced ourselves to the parents of Bithe, and then we highlighted our plight of us seeking for a wife for David. So the parents listened to us, and the girl also was there. So after expressing all what we needed, now it was the turn for the parents to ask questions, and also to ask the girl the question, because we had highlighted who Auma was and what his condition was. So the girl felt that actually that is the right man that he should marry.
And finally, their efforts paid off. For David, there was a bride, and the journey to the wedding just started. Oma's sister Mary will also be wedding on the same day too. And so every aspect of the planning has to come in double.
We are celebrating our 20th anniversary, and at the same time, we are celebrating the wedding of two of our children who have been raised at Imani, and we shall be seeing them being united with their best people that they have identified in their life as a husband and a wife.
Mr. and Mrs. Julius Kamau, the best couple for Oma, can only be honored for their role.
We have been interacting with them, we have been talking, we have been making them feel how necessary it is to have a family. And we have been very, very much happy that Mr. Oma have been talking of wedding. To me, he started talking of a wedding last year. And he has kept on asking me whether I'll come for his wedding and what I shall carry for him, whether I'll come with a gift. And I have always been telling him that I will do so. And eventually, I even became the person to stand before him as the father.
There is no doubt this is a community event. But as Susan Dungu, the Imani Home's secretary, explains, the usual headaches of planning a wedding cannot be wished away.
90% is from our well-wishers and friends. For the venue itself, we'll celebrate it at 10 at the Sarakasi Dome. It is in Ngara, opposite the post office. There, the Sarakasi, the owner of the Sarakasi, that is the Mr. Rudy and Marion, they have given it to us for free. So that day we don't have to pay anything for venue. For decoration, it is done by Prima Flora, so we are grateful for those guys.
Harusi yangu ni ya on Saturday. Najisikia poa.
Coming up on the Day of the African Child, anxious moments as Flavia and Eric await their medical tests.
Oh, the good life, full of fun, seems to be the ideal.
A few weeks to the wedding and the groom is out of the country. So the bride Flavia has to be a little resourceful, taking a friend along for support.
We've not gone for the test because my fiancé is out of the country at the moment for a short while. So when he comes, then we can do the test. But it was among our priority, top of the list. It's very, very important. Today I'm here to fit my dress. I'm really excited about it. I saw it at the Samantha Bridal Expo at the Sarit Center during the fashion show. The model in it looked very nice.
But alas, it's never a one-size-fits-all situation. Only 2 weeks to the wedding, and Flavia realizes the gown is one size too big.
2 weeks to go. My heart is beating. My dress is not what I wanted to be. I mean, by now I've expected them to have made adjustments, but I hope they make it on time.
Tragedy, they say, never comes in unaccompanied. The bride realizes the maid's dressmaker got a little too busy or lousy to honor his bargain.
We just have to look for a plan B. We gave him a photo. He didn't bring out the design the way we wanted. He used very cheap fabric. It just looks a disaster. It doesn't look nice.
Meanwhile, Eric is back. And first things first. Flavia and Eric decide to have their rhesus factor checked, which, as the doctor explains, could rid them of future complications and conflicts.
The rhesus factor is an important factor, especially for the mother. It's important to check your blood group in terms of the rhesus. Okay.
A few minutes of anxiety, and the results are out.
We are safe.
That in place, the couple takes a trip to the Thomas Bernardo home, which is the venue for their wedding.
The Thomas Bernardo house was set up in 1961. It's one of the oldest homes. And we take care of children who are abandoned, orphaned, and destitute. Right now we have about 200 children under our care, the ones that are residentially in the home. but we have another 200 children that we take care of with their guardians and relatives that are also needy in the various villages in the country.
The home, which was among the first, was founded by the late Thomas Bernardo family of the UK and handed to a local trust in the year 1972. It takes care of orphan children, abandoned children, and the destitute since 1951.
We chose Thomas Bernardo's because one is we are supporting kids. As you know, this is a home, so we are supporting kids. Secondly, we wanted a place where we can have everything together, one package, and so they provide that for us. They give us a hall where we can have it as church, and they also give us the grounds.
And as Agnes Kiraide, the chief administrator, explains, the wedding package is just one of the ways of financing the home.
So actually, when you land here, we actually come complete for your wedding. We have Mercedes for hire, we have buses for hire. The whole package is actually here. And even our hall acts as a church. So you land here, you have the whole wedding. So all this way is avenues of trying to generate a bit more money for the children.
With one day to go for Eric and Flavia, it's time to taste the cake.
Cindy has prepared for us a fruit cake, a delicious, rich fruit cake. It's really nice.
There's actually going to be gold ribbon.
Oh,
yeah. This is the cake board, yeah. So
okay.
it's going to be bordered with a gold ribbon. Yes.
And the looks on their faces tell it all. A few days to the wedding, yet so many other details are still pending. Flavia's ring a size smaller, her gown a size bigger, and the maid's dresses still in drawing. Divine intervention is all we can call for. For Oma and his bride, planning is underway too, and they are winding up on the counseling session. The couple have their counseling sessions together with Oma's sister Mary, who'll be wedding on the same day. Imani's friends and partners proved their faith and gratitude, giving and donating wholeheartedly. It's amazing the miles that a little love can go. The little ones too had a say and a duty for their big brother. Center that the groom grew up and has known as home after he was rescued 20 years ago. But to the horror of many, these innocent lives have even been commercialized. For instance, this lady wants to sell her grandchild to Imani children with claims of poverty and a mentally disabled daughter as the reason. Unfortunately for her, her ill get-rich-quick scheme turns to be more difficult than she imagined.
There's a woman who walked in our office on Monday wanting to sell off this child to Imani at a price of 100,000 shillings.
Whatever the reason, child trafficking is a serious offense globally and locally, attracting severe penalties.
Now, this child will be kept at your children's home because we have nowhere else to keep her. and we are going to take action against the suspect. Once again, I thank you very much for a good job.
This saga replicates quite so often, albeit going on unreported. But even as the grandmother points out poverty as the main cause, is there a better way? Is there hope for the African child?
Coming up.
For Flavia and Eric, all turns out well for their wedding despite the earlier hitches.
Full of fun seems to be the ideal.
It's the morning of Flavia and Eric's wedding. The bride is excited, looking spectacular in her beaded A-line gown.
I'm feeling great. The day is finally here. We thank God. I thank God for the weather. It's not cold.
Amid song and dance, the bride leaves her parents' house, probably the last time she's bearing their surname. On the other end, the hall that has been beautifully transformed into a church is ready and waiting.
Remember when we sat in your car and you told me all about the stars and how you'd make it up there one day. And I would hum and whistle through and you would try to get the tune, but you'd never really heard it anyway.
The groomsmen are here polishing their charm as the man of the moment waits patiently.
I'm good. I'm feeling great. The time, we've kept time. We had agreed, as in the bride to be here by 10, and actually it is 9:58 and the bride is here, so I am happy. Everything will go as to plan.
The bridal party is ushered into the church in style, with cutting of ribbons and candles paving the way. The bridal procession walks down the aisle to their preferred song by the late Angela Chibalonza.
Tumetoka na mahali tumefika, ndiyo maana ninatambua kwamba wewe ni Ebeneza. Sio kwa uwezo wangu, ila ni kwa uwezo wako. Mahali nimefika Baba, acha nikushukuru. Bwana umenisaidia nifike mahali nimefika. Bwana wewe ni Ebeneza maishani mwangu. Ninataka Baba msingi wangu, jiwe langu, nakutamani sana. Jiwe langu la thamani, nakuhitaji sana. Ebeneza, jiwe langu. Ninataka maisha yangu yajengwe juu yako. Ninataka ndoa yangu ijengwe juu yako Baba. Ndoa zilizojengwa juu yako Yawe hazivunjiki kamwe. Nyumba zilizojengwa juu yako Yawe hazivunjiki kamwe. Ninataka uimbaji wangu Baba ujengwe Ebeneza nanga, libanga nanga yatala.
The maids are content and beautiful, an indication divine intervention saved their dresses. Time to unveil the bride.
I'm Eric Omondi Onyango.
I'm Flavia Onyango.
Thank you, Flavia Onyango.
Thank you, Eric Omondi Onyango.
To be my lawfully wedded wife.
To be my lawfully wedded husband.
To have and to hold.
From this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and health.
To love and to cherish.
And to honor in the Lord.
Till death us do pass.
According to God's holy law.
And this is my solemn vow.
Amen.
Our fears are put to rest as the ring slips smoothly into Flavia's finger.
I'd swim the ocean blue and walk from Everest round to Kathmandu for just one glimmer of your smile. The memory of your lips and the hope I'll feel your fingertips, all from one glimmer of your smile. I've given love a chance, dreamt of a true romance, but nothing compares to be with you. So whisper sweetly, love, and take me by the hand.
Finally, the newlyweds, Mr. and Mrs. Omondi, can lead the recession out to the reception. Back at the reception, the crew is working tirelessly, scaping the green fields into a colorful and dreamy arena. We caught up with the couple during the photo shoot on the religion issue. Who converts to what?
You could convert, or I could convert.
Bridal party make their way back into the reception in style. The guests have various dishes prepared to tickle their taste. The couple honors their parents by sharing their first meal with them. bride then wishes all her single friends well through this time-old wedding tradition. For the couple, it was a beautiful, fun-filled day.
I'm glad I chose the venue to help the children because the services are very on point. As you can see, the decor, they did not disappoint. Exactly what we asked them to do is what they did. They were on time. And yeah, so we thank God that we supported the children, and in supporting the children, they did not let us down. They gave us just value for our money, and we are very happy. And we would like to take this opportunity to really thank them for making the day beautiful and for making the day nice.
July is coming, very cold, my friends. I'm sorry, those single men.
All we wish them is a happy and long life ahead. It's the morning of Mbithe and Ouma's wedding. At Imani's center, a happy wave of expectations is blowing. The beaming bride's smile told it all. It was her greatest day, a day she had relived in her dream.
Mimi naishi mzuri, nafurahia kuona siku ya leo.
It's all in a mother's pride and joy as the women sing and dance to their victorious maiden. Soon, the royals of the day make their grand entry. And so the families too were joined in prayers and blessings for the two couples. At Imani, blessings seem to be flowing in triples. On this great day, they're also celebrating their 20th anniversary.
Wonderful you, it had to be you.
We don't take it for granted that we are here 20 years after a small idea was conceived by a small girl. You have heard that she conceived this idea when she was still in school. For me, the greatest gift Faith has given her children is not bringing them up. It is giving her own life to them.
And Miss Faith Wanjiru, the founder, has a special message for her guests.
It's very easy to adopt a child and give love. Very, very easy. The government does their work very well, good papers, and we give you a child without pay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have Imani C, which is a baby house for children between 1 day old to 1.5 years. We have Imani B for the Imani C, what I would call graduates of Imani C. These are the children from the age of 1.5 to 6 years old. We also have Imani A for children above 7 to around the age of 18 years old. We have Imani Kasarani for girls. We have Imani Kibera for boys. These ones cater for those who have finished high school and are in colleges and universities.
For the three events wed into one, it was a happily ever after tale. It's 2 months into marriage for Mbithe and Ouma. As a gift from the home, the newlyweds received a house to start off a life of their own.
My worries behind, well,
Mbithe cannot hide her joy in serving her husband, while Ouma has settled amiably into his new role. Ouma is trained in livestock keeping skills, while Mbithe is in housekeeping. They both work at the Imani centers.
I've got so much to live for today. Every minute I waste, I'm losing the taste of everything life has to give. I feel young, I feel free, gotta think about...
Mi sina wasiwasi wowote.
Instead, Mbithe focuses on her husband's strengths.
Ouma, yani mi sina any shaka kuhusu Ouma juu ni mtu ako na amani, ni hard working, na nilifurahia kukua na yeye.
2 months into the marriage, after a honeymoon in Malindi, this couple is all set to go. A parting shot from the warm bride.
Wasichana wengine wasidharau mtu kama Ouma. Ni binadamu kama watu wengine, nampenda sana.
Using this special day to uplift a disadvantaged child's life can mean a great step in alleviating the social crisis facing the African child. It's also wise for couples to protect their future children from congenital challenges by taking appropriate tests, such as Flavia and Eric. All in all, in this day and every other day, everyone should take it in their hands to offer protection, care, and love to all those innocent souls looking up to them. What are your sentiments regarding today's show?
Share your sentiments of the show with us on our interactive fan page, Samantha's Bridal. Follow us on Twitter at @sbridal_Kenya or log on to www.samanthasbridal.co.ke. Discussions are going on now.
Vecino, remane vecino. When you're far away, my heart longs for you so. Restere, restano sempre. Without you here, how can I go on? I imagined how your eyes would catch the light, but what my imagination never knew